Hi, I'm Madison and welcome to Precarious Plants. So today I've got 3 plants that are sort of doing their own thing. Some plants you have just look beautiful and gorgeous and you don't have to do anything with them, and other plants are your problem children that just sort of grow into the strangest ways in the strangest places. So I've got 3 of those today, and let's dive into each one. This is my False Christmas Cactus. I don't know how to pronounce the scientific name, so we're going to go with False Christmas Cactus. I did some Googling, and based on the leaf shape, it's more pointy, so I believe it's a Thanksgiving cactus. Bloom timing is not helpful with this one because it bloomed 2 or 3 times last year at random increments around kind of winter and spring. So I'm going to go with Thanksgiving cactus. Maybe that's wrong, maybe that's right. In any case, I don't think it really changes the care that I give it. I've had a couple of these before. This particular plant I've had for over a year. So it does great, it's growing. You can see these little baby leaves right here that are popping in. I did kind of clip some of these off at the end of the last flowering. So what I've heard is that promotes growth of more of the kind of foliage, would you call this foliage, in the plant. And so I just kind of popped some of those off to promote some growth. And this is the result. What is that? What happened? I don't know what's going on here. So this side is very long, lots of new growth, lots of expansion and little babies popping out with their little kind of pink leaves there. And this side, not so much. It does have growth. It does have a couple of new leaves coming in, but it's very strange that it would be one side and not the other. I do rotate this plant pretty frequently, so I don't believe that it's a light issue. One of the other things that's weird about this plant is that it's kind of sticking straight up. When you Google pictures or see pictures online, this plant seems to be more of a cascade and kind of coming over the pot and, a pretty sort of almost trailing kind of plant. Not so much for mine. Mine just kind of sticks straight up. And mine have always done that. I'm not really sure what that's about. I've had several in the past and none of mine cascade. So that's kind of what's going on with this guy. Not really sure. I think it could possibly be the roots. Maybe these roots are just more established and happier and that sort of thing. Because this plant is, each kind of section is its own plant. Maybe some of the roots are just doing better than some of the others were more established with some propagations that maybe happened before I received the plant. So possible, could be, don't know. This is a Stromanthe Magic Star. I've had it for a couple of months. I'm not an expert on most things plants, but particularly not in anything prayer plant related. I've had a couple of Calathea and Stromanthe that have ended up in the trash. So this is one of the survivors that we've had, and I think I've done a pretty good job with it. But it's got a couple of issues. There's some things going on that I'm not really sure how to deal with. So let's walk through it. So when I got this plant, like I said, a couple of months ago, there were 2 sections, fans, we'll call them fans. I'm not sure what they're called. So we had a couple of leaves, so like this one and this one were here, but a lot of these leaves have come in since I've had this plant. So new growth here, doing great. There was also this section, this kind of fan. There was a leaf coming in, but it's sort of rotted, I guess you would say. It was really crunchy and crusty and just didn't make it. And no new leaves have come from this section since that happened. I think that was probably a shipping thing, but I've basically just been focused on this section, and it's been doing great, putting out beautiful leaves and everything. I do have some crunchy tips, but that's success for me. So what I've noticed is that I'm starting to get these sort of crunchy ends, kind of sections, and I'm not sure why that's happening. So this leaf came out, you can see that it's maybe rot. We'll just call it crunchy. So it's got these crunchy bits here. The leaf still looks great, but kind of interesting that that's happening. And now this new leaf that's coming in is really crunchy. So I'm very concerned about that. I'm worried this is going to stop putting out leaves, sort of like that other branch did. So concerned. The other thing that's making me worried is that I got a new growth here, and the first leaf that came out was really crunchy and dried and just a hot mess. So I cut that off, hoping that that would keep pests away, keep everything else healthy and happy and moving ahead, giving energy to other parts of the plant. But I'm not sure if that's what I should have done or if there was something better I could have done. But that's what I did. So that's sort of the gist of it. I haven't changed the lighting, the position, feed, anything like that. It's getting the same care that it was, so not sure what's going on that's caused this change. One hypothesis that I have is that maybe I got some water in there if I was, watering from above and water got into kind of the fans, and that's what caused the issue. So as I was picking this up to talk about it and show it, I found some new sort of growths. I've heard others talk about pups, plant pups. I'm not sure if Stromanthe have pups, but that's what I'm going to call them. So I've got this new set coming in here. There's a leaf that popped out. I thought this leaf was part of one of the other fans, but I realized just recently that no, that's a new little growth there. And also this one over here on the side. How cute is that? It's a little baby. So I don't know what's going on because it seems to be producing a lot. It seems to be happy in most regards, but these leaves are just coming in a bit crunchy. I'm going to be careful. I started bottom watering to see if maybe that'll help keep me from getting water in these sections, but what a weird guy. I don't know what's happening here, why it's kind of growing and doing the things that it's doing. I did pull this out earlier and it is not root bound. The roots look great and happy and healthy. They're not growing out of the bottom, so I don't think a repot is in order. I do have some fungus gnats, so you'll see kind of some white powder here. That's just diatomaceous earth that I sprinkled on the top to try to get rid of some of the issues that I'm having with the fungus gnats. Spoiler alert, not successful so far. So yeah, that's the Stromanthe Magic Star and what's going on there. I don't know what to do with this plant. No idea. It just grows and grows and grows. So this is an Amaryllis bulb that my grandma sent me probably around Thanksgiving time last year. Planted it. It grew some amazing blooms. They're a beautiful red flower, but it just kept growing after that. So the leaves on Amaryllis, theoretically, according to Google, are supposed to be about 1 to 2 feet long. This bad boy, the leaves have gotten up to 3 feet. So because this plant was growing so long and sort of destroying itself with the leaves falling over and breaking, I decided to cut it back a couple of months ago. And so I cut it all the way back to the bulb, and this is what grew back. So I went from 3 feet leaves that I cut, and now we're at 2.5 foot leaves. They're doing great. They haven't flopped over. When they were coming in, they were a little less structurally sound, so I actually propped them up on my Monstera because that's how tall they are. And so I recently repotted it because it was in a smaller pot, and when I went to stick the moisture meter in, I realized that even on the edge of the little pot that I had it in before, when I put the moisture meter in, I was sort of at the edge of the bulb and I was hitting roots. So when I pulled it out, the thing had massive roots. It was just a monster. So it was very happy. I repotted it. It seems to still be happy in this larger sort of vase. I didn't have anything else but aroid mix, so it's potted in aroid mix. I think that's probably fine. Honestly, if it doesn't like it and it grows slower, I don't think that's a problem because it's so big and so hefty right now. Yeah, so that's what's going on with this Amaryllis. I'm excited for it to start kind of getting towards the bloom and flowering season. Last year, I think it bloomed around mid-December and then again towards mid-March. So I'm hoping to get 2 blooms out of it again this year. Beautiful red flowers. But yeah, this is just sort of a monster of a plant. I'll show you again kind of the giant leaves. They just go up and up and up and up. So those are my kind of weirdo plants at the moment. Hopefully I can figure out what's going on with the Stromanthe and help it produce some nicer leaves. Hopefully my False Christmas Cactus will start growing on the other side, and hopefully my Amaryllis does not collapse and fall over again. Thank you for listening in. This channel is not about teaching anything or spreading information or knowledge, but mostly about my trial and error with my plants and hopefully making a few mistakes for you so that you don't have to make them on your own plants. All right, cool. Thank you guys. Have a good day.